What's up, my magical maraschino cherries? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on The Daily Grind, we're back with another installment of Rob reads you shit that you don't want to read yourself. And as you can see, we are covering Operation Scarlet Spear, which is coming next week to PC and soon to consoles, as well as part 3 of the Review, Revise, Refresh mainline Devworkshop. Now, first and foremost, I did want to apologize because this video is coming out to y'all a lot later than I normally would have it. However, I was offered a position that I just couldn't turn down, and they are working me like an absolute dog. But I mean, what you gonna do when you this handsome and talented, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and jump on in. The Sentients have breached the Veil Proxima, threatening the existence of the entire Origin system. Link forces with your fellow Tenno to forge the first line of defense with Operation Link and stand united against the Sentients. The new war is upon us. Not really, but kinda sorta. I know y'all got this 3-act thing, but the new war that was pitched to us was a cinematic quest where we kill Mama Lotus and Grandmama Lotus. Just putting that out there. Anyway, what you need to know: the Scarlet Spear Flotilla Relay, your home base for fending off the invasion. It's here you'll work to strategize a careful plan of attack, coordinated and deadly. The Scarlet Spear Flotilla will inform you of incoming Murex waves, massive vessels harboring sentient forces readying their next strike. Rendezvous with other Tenno and form squads to embark on one of 2 connected missions to fend them off: ground assault or Murex raid. And as you can see, we got this really pretty like, I'm wondering, how often this is going to happen. I know that a lot of people have been saying maybe this will end up kind of like Operation Plague Star and it'll come back occasionally, or maybe it'll be something as often as Ghouls. I have absolutely no clue, but they have put a lot of work into this Flotilla Relay, so I'm really curious because Squad Link was something that they worked on big time, and I can't just see it disappearing all of a sudden, right? Ground assault. On the ground, your mission is to seize the kill code from sentient Chondrix and transmit it to your allies above. You'll need to use an Operation Link Beacon or Op-Link Beacon to connect with squads in real time. Fend off sentients from harming the beacon while it analyzes the Chondrix for the code you need. Murex Raid. In the Railjack, your objective will be to infiltrate the sentient Murex, gain control of its transmission array, and broadcast the kill code shared by the team on the ground. This will hopefully cut off the Murex from the rest of the sentient armada deeper in the Veil and delay further disruption. Expect heavy resistance in both missions. Boarding parties will deploy Anumantalists and Anu interference drones to disrupt your Railjack systems and put a halt to the resistance. Only coordinated squads can suppress the Sentient's incursion. If you're successful, the Murex Rave will have no choice but to flee. I'm really curious what's going to happen if one part of these 2 assaults don't work. Like if, let's say, everybody's doing ground assault, but nobody's doing Murex Raid. I'm like curious to see how that's going to happen. Like, will the Murex Raid fail? I don't know. To link force, or what you need to do. To link forces with other Tenno, you'll need to obtain and equip an Op-Link Beacon, track down Little Duck in the Scarlet Spear Flotilla to begin. You can find the relay orbiting Earth. To participate in this operation, you must be at least Mastery Rank 3. The event rewards, and this is the juicy bits that we've all been waiting for. Little Duck will have a stockpile of spoils that you can spend Scarlet credits on, including a brand new weapon, an Operation Variant Lacera, Arcanes, and more. Earn Scarlet credits by participating in ground assaults or Murex raids. And as you can see right here, that is the Bosmu rifle. Take aim with 2 different firing modes, a beam and a rapid fire shot. I'm really curious to see how that goes because it looks like it's going to be a sentient gun. Arcanes, a new way to earn these enhancements, and it'll be good for anybody out there who just kind of like needs to finish off their current stacks. And there's a couple arcanes that I'm like, oh, we might as well kind of like level you all the way up and see how it goes. They also have stance forma blueprints, a forma to maximize your flexibility with melee weapon modding. I don't know how important that is to you guys. Let me know how you guys feel about it down in the weapons below. Weapons below. Wow. My mind is really just getting ready to shoot and whip things. And last but not least, this is actually something I'm really excited about, which is earn other unique rewards like new avionics. They had not brought this up before. I'm just pointing that out there. New avionics? Listen, I like me some nice Railjack options, right? We have clan sigils, medals, and more. You'll need to work quickly to quell this fight. Then we have a new Tenno reinforcement, which, as you guys know, is going to be the Nova Deluxe 2, which is Nova Atomica. I'm going to tell you right now, in this image, they make her look really jutzy. Okay, it didn't look as good, and maybe it's the lighting or something, because really, like, it didn't look all that in the things that they've shown. But then again, at the end of the day, as you guys know, like, don't trust nothing until I get my hands to customize it, right? Harness the power of Nova Atomica. This collection includes the Nova Atomica skin, the Alamo Sniper skin, and Radia Syandana. Now, I don't know about you, but that Sniper skin looks kind of, to me, it doesn't look fantastic. But that Syandana, the thing that we saw in previous videos, they look kind of freaking gorgeous. I'm like excited for that specific part of it all, because it's a lot of nice metallics and it's a back attachment and it doesn't droop on the floor. So I'm already excited, at least at that little bit. Moving on, we have Sentient Dojo decorations. I don't really care, but I'll admit it does look kind of pretty. I'm never gonna like take the time and effort to do all that, because it's just more than my fucking heart needs. And then last, garbage trash. But you know what? At least I'm glad that the sound team is staying busy. All right, let's go ahead and move on to 2020's first main line. And this is actually part 3 of the iteration of the review, revise, refresh update. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on. Hey Tenno, Scarlet Spear is still in the works, but as a continuation of our revision passes, we wanted to share with you some more tweaks that we've been working on. In this post, we are looking to continue our previous update of Warframe Revised with these additional changes. Impact damage, gas damage, status chance mods, Kuvaliches, foundry crafting times, Magus lockdown arcanes, Grendel changes, Titania changes, notice a little change in tone there, Rock the Dark Dagger, and the Scarlet Spear ETA. So let's go ahead and start things off with impact damage. Impact damage will now have an accumulating effect that can stack on enemies, leading to a large stagger and additional chance to have a Parazon finisher animation available. In brief, these changes are: each stack of impact status creates a slightly bigger stagger effect until a heavy stagger occurs at 5 stacks. Each stack of impact status increases the chance of a Parazon finisher move by 10%, available when the enemy falls below the required health threshold. Why? We mentioned this on the dev stream, but we wanted to write out the plans here on what we're changing based on the feedback. Ragdolls and knockdowns were not a status effect our players enjoy. No, not at all. They're always a pain in the butt. I mean, here's the thing. They were hilarious on dev streams when you would do some weird, crazy move and it would knock something like across the map and you're like, oh my god, it's so funny. But you know, aside from laughing at that one moment, when you actually have to play it over and over again, it becomes less fun and the gameplay just turns really, really sloppy. Moving along, we have gas damage. Gas damage has been reworked to have a radius stacking effect with a focus on how it continues to work after the death of an enemy who is affected by it. In short, this means the following changes have been made. Gas effects will continue to cause damage over time to targets even after the original target dies. Gas status area effect radius increases with the number of stacks to a max of 10 stacks. Gas damage resistance has been removed from toxic ancient auras. Why? There's been a lot of feedback over gas damage and how it seemed lacking in comparison to other status effects. This change will hopefully give gas a bit more viability and make it react in a way that is thematically appropriate. We have 3 status chance mods. With all of the changes to status effects, we have made a broad increase to status chance mods, increasing them dramatically. There are a few other mods required a buff, however. The exact numbers can be found below. So increased hammershot status chance from 40 to 80, increased shattering justice status chance from 20 to 90. In addition, this buff has been changed for an additive chance to a multiplicative chance. Increased stunning speed status chance from 10% to 30%. Why? As we stated before in previous Warframe Revisited posts, status chance got a buff when changes were made to show status chance were delivered. This is simply covering a few more mods to bring them in line with the new balance. Kuvalich changes. Based on feedback with the recent overhaul to status effects in the Warframe Revised, the conversation of how status effects should react with bosses or VIPs has started. Our first step down this road is starting with Kuvaliches. Currently, there are 2 special rules to this boss status enabling. No status effect will exceed a maximum of 4 stacks. Okay, I like to see how you're keeping it like not crazy, with the exception of impact, which can stack up to 6 times. There's a cooldown on statuses for liches. Okay. However, to prevent stun locking them in place and removing the challenge with status weapons. Radiation does not change the enemy's faction, and instead of increasing damage done to enemies with stacks, it increases the damage taken from enemies who have turned on them. Okay. I kind of wish that it went a little bit both ways just on standard radiation, where it's not just like they're doing more damage to other enemies, but also they're doing more damage and they're taking more damage. I think that would have been better. Why? Kuvaliches are tough, but that toughness was limited to their immunities and level of health. This change will let the individual builds of a player have more meaning when fighting a Lich, while still keeping them challenging pending feedback. This change will also be applied to other bosses in Warframe. We look forward to your constructive feedback, and we work towards applying this to other bosses / VIPs. I'm curious, because I'm going to be completely honest with you, I never found Kuvaliches very tough to begin with. I know that they're just doing this for kind of like build variety, but I have not changed a single build on a single weapon to take on a Kuvalich. I've literally just used the same weapon with the same build. It's hybrid crit and status, so I'm assuming that it's probably going to be more effective, but it's not like I found Liches difficult to begin with. Regardless, let's move on. Founding crafting time change. In an effort to help maintain building consistency, we have reduced the time for Forma, Orc, and Catalyst, Orc, and Reactors, and Exilis adapters to 23 hours as opposed to 24 as per player request. Why? When building Forma or another similar item, having a 24-hour limit meant that players who signed on at a regular time would see some delays when an item was ready. We wanted to be respectful for our players' playing time, and by making it 23 hours, they can grab their completed item and start another build without upsetting their routine. P.S. Don't forget about the mobile app. 6. Magus lockdown changes. Now, if y'all knew about Magus lockdown, y'all wouldn't be so surprised to see this happening. I'm just putting this out there. We are making some changes to Magus Lockdown that will keep it as a tactical option over the do-everything solution. Here are the changes coming with the Scarlet Spear update. Magus Lockdown will no longer apply punker damage to tethered enemies. The amount of active tether mines is now limited to 2 per player, with 10 tethers apiece at rank 5. This means that if you cast Magus Lockdown a 3rd time, the first tether mine will stop and the new tether mine will take its place. Magus Lockdown no longer affects the Golden Maw due to the arcane killing the Maw and preventing quest completion. This also fixes a script error that was causing some problems when the Golden Maw encountered. Wow, I didn't even think that that was going to be a thing. But why? Magus Lockdown has a reputation of being the CC and damage meta, and after some review, it's not hard to see why. There are cases where Magus Lockdown was wiped entire waves of Elite Sanctuary Onslaught without the need for a weapon or Warframe power, and that is not what we had in mind for the design of this. Like, it was powerful. We all knew it was powerful. I was rocking Magus, like, if you saw any of my Operator Arcane videos, like, I let it speak for itself. Let's just say that. Grendel changes. Grendel has been out in the wild for some time now, and with the player feedback, we have made the following changes to the hungriest Warframe. Hopefully y'all made him funner. Grendel's Nourish now mimics Titania's Tribute buff selector. If you're unfamiliar with Titania's Tribute buff selector, you can tap the ability to select a different buff, then hold the ability to cast the selected effect. When consumed by Grendel, sentients now have a max duration. They can be consumed before popping out. Oh my god, they like crawl out of your mouth or they crawl out of your butt. It's either your mouth or your butt. There's really one option. On a timer affected by diminishing returns. This change was made to prevent Grendel from stopping mission progression, since where all sentients must be exterminated for the mission to succeed. Grendel can now consume grenades, because why not add a bit of spicy seasoning to your meats? I don't think that explosives is any kind of seasoning. I think it's a combustible. So if you want your meat to be, incinerated, I mean, why not? This change was to make power selection more consistent with other Warframes, as well as reduce the potential for exploiting missions with sentient threats by either removing them from play or locking down the mission. As for eating grenades, well, why not? He's a hungry boy. Number 8. Titania changes and fixes. Y'all, I already read this, but I wanted to remind y'all that there is going to be a new set of augments that should be shipping with Scarlet Spear. This is what I was told, and one of them is an aviator-like augment that removes forced vacuum. Is this what I wanted? No. But am I completely unreasonable? No. I'm still going to give it a shot. And keep in mind, I'm actually currently working on a build, as in I've gone in and suffered through the unplayability of vacuum. And I cried, and I sobbed, and I beat my head on the table. I'm just kidding. I didn't do any of that. I'm not like one of those crybaby Redditors, just putting it out there. But I did start working on another build to kind of be able to address the new augment that I'm kind of sort of excited for. Listen, restriction breeds creativity, so part of me is kind of like, all right, well, let's see what we can do. But there's an addition. Titania has seen a few changes in recent history, but there were a couple of an additional quality of life modifications we wanted to make to bring her in line with other similar systems. Titania has a new passive. Titania generates health for herself and nearby allies every time she casts an ability. Health for herself and nearby allies every time she casts an ability. Yeah, my build is keeping that kind of shit in mind. I'm excited. Note, the personal Titania parkour boost is staying. Just the communal trampoline isn't, so no more group trampoline. I don't think that anybody really, got their feelings hurt over that. Titania can now use Blink while in her Razor Wing ability. We fixed an issue where casting Razor Wing in specific simulacrum situation would result in a white screen. Why? Titania's vacuum was utter crap, and we apologize to you, Rob, for making you wait for so long to be able to play her again. So we're hoping to get this out to you ASAP. And also, since Titania uses the same systems as Arcwing in her Razor Wing form, we wanted her abilities to match with what players are used to. The new passive ability was a replacement that we felt would make her more enticing to play while also thematic, and also removing the forced vacuum via the additional augment would make Rob happy. Just putting that out there. And other players that also did not enjoy forced vacuum. Player options are important, people. Moving along. Oh my god, can I just tell you, this next one kind of brings a tear to my eye for a specific person who tweeted me. They sent me a build using Loki and racked a Dark Dagger, and I was like, yo, this ain't gonna last. I didn't mention it, but it ain't gonna last. The passive bonus, which grants shields when attacking an enemy afflicted with a radiation status, has been tweaked to work with shield gating. Now, the bonus will only apply if you only have shields active. While this is a balance pass after shield gating was introduced, with the new systems, shields would tick in, defeating the new delay set by the shield gate. This change simply makes sure that you are getting the same buffs without abusing the new shield system. Not exactly sure how it's going to affect your build. You know who you are. Just let me know. DM me in the tweets. Let me know if you're still good or if this hurts you in any way. If you need an internet hug, I am here for you. Scarlet Spear ETA. We are still working away on the update, even with the initial work from home adaptation as mentioned in DevStream 140. And if you guys are at all wondering why it's taking so long to get Scarlet Spear out, it's because they are working remotely now. They're all working from home, so I'm sure there are some bugs that they got to figure out there. We are hoping to release Scarlet Spear soon, possibly next week, but the release date may slip depending on how quickly we can translate to work from home. It will come in March for sure on PC. Which week of March remains to be seen. Scarlet Spear is indeed launching next week on PC console soon. I don't know. Who are they all talking to? Are they talking to each other? Are they two different people? I don't know. Please feel free to leave your feedback in this thread, but make sure to keep your feedback civil and constructive, just like my comment section, bitch. Don't fuck with my comment section and not expect to get fucked with right back. Anyway, thank you, as D.E. Bear would say. Regardless, that is going to do it for me for now. Let me know how you guys feel about Operation Scarlet Spear. Is it something that you're excited about? Are you just excited to have something to do while you are at home quarantined? Are you excited that Rob is finally getting what he wants? I'm just kidding. I'm just excited, okay? I'm just excited because mechanics are floating through my head. New passive systems and the build that I'm working on is like jiving. And I'm like, I like it when I can jive and also not have vacuum forced upon me. You don't have to like it. Just just enjoy, just be happy that I'm happy, okay? Anyway, that's gonna do it for me for now. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch yo body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.